November 11th, 2025, 04:17 a.m., Guantanamo Bay Naval Base, Cuba. 45 square miles of American territory surrounded by hostile nation, 3,700 military personnel, 1,500 civilians, families, children, isolated outpost, only resupply by sea or air. Cuba tolerates presence grudgingly, lease signed 1903, $4,085 annual rent. Cuba refuses to cash checks since 1959. Calls base illegal occupation, wants it gone. Today, Cuba attempts to make that happen with Venezuelan help. 400 Special Forces operatives, 200 Cuban Revolutionary Armed Forces, 200 Venezuelan Bolivarian National Guard, coordinated assault, simultaneous attacks on perimeter fence, Northeast Gate, Northwest Gate, Marine Hill, all at once, overwhelming force, surprise attack, perfect timing. Except Americans detected preparation, satellites saw troop movements, signals intelligence intercepted communications, drones observed staging areas. America knew attack coming, just not exactly when, now they know. Welcome to Navy Force, where forward deployed bases become battlefields, and 89 miles determine if amphibious group arrives before defenders run out of ammunition and time and luck. Perimeter defense consists of chain-link fence, guard towers, marine sentries, motion sensors, infrared cameras, standard security, designed for preventing refugees from entering, not designed for military assault, not designed for 400 commandos attacking simultaneously. First explosion, 04:17 a.m., Northeast Gate, breaching charge, fence destroyed, gap created, commandos pour through. Marines respond, M4 rifles, squad automatic weapons, defensive positions pre-planned, practiced monthly, now executed for real. First shots fired, commandos take casualties. 3 down, 4 down, 7 down. But keep coming, overwhelming through numbers. Classic infantry assault, suppress defenders with volume of fire, advance through gaps. Flank positions, eliminate resistance, standard tactics, properly executed. Marines fall back, first defensive line abandoned, second line established 200 meters back, holding, for now. Northwest Gate breaches simultaneously, same explosive pattern, same infantry assault, same Marine response, same result. Defenders inflict casualties, commandos advance anyway, numbers matter. 400 attackers versus 180 Marines on perimeter duty, math doesn't favor defenders. Radio calls for reinforcements, base security forces respond, military police, CBs, Navy personnel with rifles, but minimal combat training. They man secondary positions, establish roadblocks, prepare for urban combat, because commandos getting closer, getting deeper into base, getting toward critical facilities, airfield, detention center, housing areas, command buildings. Each target represents different objective. Each objective requires different response. Defenders spread thin, resources insufficient, time working against them. Question for viewers, 400 attackers versus 3,700 defenders. Why are defenders struggling? A. Surprise. B. Training. C. Positioning. Comment your assessment. And Navy Force believes forward bases survive through preparation, and today shows preparation has limits when enemies bring overwhelming force. Marine Hill position holds. Elevated terrain, commanding view, machine gun emplacements. Marines established strong defensive positions years ago. Practiced constantly, know every field of fire, know every dead space, know every approach. Commandos attack uphill, terrible tactical position. Marines slaughter them. 53 commandos killed in first 12 minutes. Assault stalls, falls back, regroups. But northwest and northeast penetrations continue. Commandos inside base now, moving toward detention facility. Controversial facility. Houses terrorism suspects, high-value detainees. Politically sensitive, militarily insignificant, but symbolically critical. If commandos reach detainees, this becomes international incident. Propaganda victory, headlines worldwide, must prevent, must hold, must defend. At 04:34 a.m., situation deteriorates. Commandos reach detention facility outer perimeter, 400 meters from actual cells. Marines establish blocking positions. Military police reinforce fight building to building, room to room, urban combat, close quarters, brutal, personal. Americans trained for this, practiced endlessly, still struggle because commandos equally trained. Cuban special forces practiced urban assault for decades. Venezuelan operators trained by Cubans, experienced, capable, determined, not irregular forces, not militia, professional soldiers, conducting professional military operation. Americans expected refugees, expected criminals, expected amateurs, got professionals. That's intelligence failure. That's planning error. That's mistake being paid for in blood. On Navy force, we understand assumptions kill. Intelligence said Cuban military degraded, said Venezuelan forces incompetent, said combined operation unlikely. All wrong, all costly. Subscribe to Navy force if you believe respecting enemy capability prevents disasters and underestimating enemies creates them. Marines counterattack at detention facility. Aggressive defense. Don't wait for commandos to assault. Attack first. Disrupt timing. Seize initiative. 42 Marines, 3 squads, coordinated movement, fire and maneuver, textbook tactics. They advance. Commandos surprised. Expected defenders to hunker down. Expected passive defense. Didn't expect counterattack. Marines exploit surprise. Kill 17 commandos. Wound 12 more. Drive assault back 150 meters. Re-establish perimeter. Mission success temporarily because commandos still outnumber Marines, still have reserves, still can try again, will try again, just matter of time. USS Baton amphibious assault ship position 89 nautical miles northeast, carrying 24th Marine Expeditionary Unit, 2,200 Marines MV-22 Osprey tiltrotors, CH-53E Super Stallion helicopters, AH-1W Super Cobra attack helicopters. Complete air-ground task force, perfect for base reinforcement, perfect for counterattack, perfect for rescue, but 89 miles away, captain receives distress calls 04:23 a.m., immediately turns toward Guantanamo, flank speed, 22 knots, ETA 5 hours 48 minutes, too long, way too long, launches helicopters immediately, 8 Ospreys, 4 Super Stallions, 2 Super Cobras, maximum speed 280 knots for Osprey, flight time 19 minutes. That's manageable, that's acceptable, that's fast enough, maybe, if defenders hold, if ammunition lasts, if casualties don't overwhelm. Big ifs. At 05:03 a.m., commandos attempt second assault on detention facility. Larger force, better coordination, mortar support. They brought 60 millimeter mortars, light, portable, effective. Shells rain on Marine positions, high explosive, fragmentation, deadly. Marines take cover, can't return effective fire, suppressed. Commandos advance under mortar cover, good tactics, professional execution, getting closer, 200 meters, 150 meters, 100 meters. Then Marine snipers engage, M40 rifles, suppressed, firing from concealed positions, picking off mortar crews, 1 shot, 1 kill. Traditional sniper role, deny enemy indirect fire support. 4 mortar crews eliminated, 6 minutes. Precision shooting, mortar fire stops, commandos lose cover, Marines counterfire, machine guns, automatic rifles, volume of fire. Commandos take heavy casualties. Assault stalls again, falls back again, 3rd repulse. Marines holding. But ammunition expenditure massive. 40% of basic load expended, can't sustain this rate. Need resupply, need reinforcement, need help arriving soon. Airfield becomes secondary target. Commandos attempt to damage runway, prevent aircraft landing, prevent reinforcement. They plant explosives along runway, timed charges. Marines spot them, engage. Firefight erupts. 600 meters from detention facility. Defenders split attention, split forces, weakens both positions. Classic military dilemma, defend everywhere. Weakly or defend somewhere strongly, commander chooses concentrate at detention facility. Accept airfield damage, preserve symbolically critical target, lose tactically useful asset. Questionable decision, defensible decision, impossible decision. That's command in combat. No good options, only least bad choices. Choose, live with consequences. Second guessing comes later. Runway explosions, 5:27 a.m. 4 charges detonate. Crater runway, render unusable for fixed-wing aircraft. Helicopters still can land, but C-130 transport cannot. P-8 Poseidon cannot. F-A-18 fighters cannot. Limits reinforcement options. Limits supply delivery. Limits everything. Commandos achieve objective. Tactical success. Strategic impact. Future operations complicated. Current operation continuing. Detention facility still holds. Marines still resist. Ammunition still available. Fight continues. At 06:11 a.m., Bataan helicopters arrive. 2 Super Cobra attack helicopters first. AH-1W gunships. Devastating firepower. 20mm 3-barrel cannon. Tau missiles. Hydra rockets. Perfect for ground support. Perfect for breaking siege. They engage commandos at detention facility. 20mm cannon fires. 750 rounds per minute, high explosive incendiary, rips through enemy positions, kills 12 commandos in first pass, second pass launches 4 Hydra rockets, impact near command post, explodes, kills Venezuelan commander, wounds Cuban second in command, command structure disrupted, coordination degrades, attack loses cohesion, that's decapitation strike working, that's leadership targeting effective. That's why attackers struggle when leaders die. 8 Ospreys land, disgorge 240 Marines, fresh troops, full ammunition load, combat ready. They reinforce perimeter, establish new defensive positions, push commandos back, aggressive posture, attack orientation, not defending anymore, counterattacking, seizing initiative, turning tables. Commandos weren't expecting this, expecting worn-down defenders, expecting low ammunition, expecting weakened resistance, got reinforced Marines, got attack helicopters, got American military machine responding. That's shock, that's surprise, that's psychological advantage shifting. But casualties mounting, American casualties, 23 Marines killed by 6:30 a.m., 47 wounded, 9 civilians killed by stray fire, 14 civilians wounded. Housing areas took mortar hits, families sheltering in bunkers, children crying, spouses terrified. This is supposed to be safe assignment, rear echelon duty, family-friendly posting, now combat zone, now under siege, now wondering if they survive. That's psychological trauma, that's family impact, that's cost of forward basing, cost politicians don't calculate, cost families pay, cost warriors know, cost everyone accepts, because mission demands presence, because deterrence requires bases, because America's global reach requires forward positions, even when forward positions become targets. At 07:42 a.m., commandos recognize mission failure, detention facility didn't fall, airfield damaged but operational, American reinforcements arrived, casualties unsustainable, 234 commandos dead, 89 wounded, 77 remaining combat effective. You can't continue, can't achieve objectives, can't win. Options narrow, surrender or retreat. Pride prevents surrender. Survival demands retreat. Cuban and Venezuelan commanders confer, agree withdraw, order given. Commandos disengage. Fighting withdrawal, covering each other, disciplined retreat. Professional military withdrawal, not rout, not panic. Tactical repositioning. Marines pursue aggressively. Kill 12 more commandos during withdrawal. Wound 19, capture 23 who can't keep pace. Wounded, left behind. That's brutal calculus. That's military necessity. That's reality of combat. By 08:30 a.m., all surviving commandos outside base perimeter. Cuban military vehicles collect them, transport away, disappear into Cuban territory. Americans can't pursue, can't cross into Cuba. International law prevents. Political considerations prevent. Military capability exists, but authorization doesn't. Frustrating, but acceptable. Base held, attackers repulsed. Mission accomplished. Costly mission, painful mission, but successful mission. That's victory. Feels hollow, feels incomplete, but still victory, because base operational. because detainees secured, because Americans survived. That counts. That matters. That's enough. What did Navy force learn from this engagement? First, forward bases are vulnerable. Guantanamo surrounded by hostile territory, limited reinforcement options, easy target for coordinated assault, strategic liability masquerading as strategic asset, second, enemy competence surprises, Cuban and Venezuelan forces professionally trained, well coordinated, effectively led, not pushovers, not amateurs, dangerous opponents. Third, rapid reinforcement saves bases. Bataan 89 miles away, but helicopters arrived in 19 minutes. Changed battle, enabled survival. Without them, base might have fallen. Fourth, casualties are inevitable. 23 Marines dead, 47 wounded. 9 civilians dead, 14 wounded. That's price of defense. That's cost of presence. That's reality of conflict. Fifth, symbolic victories matter. Commandos didn't capture detention facility, didn't free detainees, didn't achieve propaganda victory. Tactical defeat becomes strategic success. Americans hold, Americans endure, Americans prevail. That's message, that's deterrence, that's strength demonstration. Final lesson: isolated bases require disproportionate defense resources. Guantanamo needs thousands of defenders, needs air power, needs naval support, needs constant vigilance, all to maintain presence that provides minimal operational value. Is it worth it? Strategically questionable, politically necessary, symbolically critical? That's complexity of forward basing. That's challenge of global presence. That's reality of American military posture. Expensive, dangerous, essential. All three simultaneously. Quiz answer from earlier: why did 3,700 defenders struggle against 400 attackers? Answer is C, positioning. Most base personnel are support troops, cooks, mechanics, clerks. Only 180 Marines on perimeter defense. Commandos concentrated against weak points. Penetrated defenses. Reached critical facilities, numbers misleading. Only combatants matter, only position matters, only training matters. Defenders had some advantages, attackers had others. Result was close-run thing, near disaster, barely avoided catastrophe. That's reality of base defense, that's challenge of forward presence. Here's truth mainstream media won't discuss. Guantanamo is strategic liability, expensive to maintain, difficult to defend, minimal operational value, but politically impossible to abandon, symbolically critical to maintain. That creates vulnerability, that enables attacks, that costs lives. 23 Marines died defending base that shouldn't exist from attackers who shouldn't have reached it. That's tragedy. That's waste. That's consequence of strategic inertia, but also that's commitment. That's resolve. That's America refusing to yield even symbolically insignificant positions, because yielding invites aggression. Complicated, contradictory, American foreign policy in microcosm. Peace belongs to those who endure attacks and survive them, to Cuba, to Venezuela, to anyone attacking American bases. We will hold, we will fight, we will prevail. That's not threat, that's promise. That's reality proven today. 400 commandos attacked, 234 died, 77 retreated defeated, 23 captured. Your attack failed, your forces bled, your objectives unachieved. That's consequence, that's price, that's deterrence validated through bloodshed. Subscribe to Navy Force if you believe forward bases matter despite costs. Like this video if you honor 23 Marines who died defending Guantanamo. Comment below, should base be closed or reinforced? Was American response adequate? What would you do as base commander during siege? Your perspective matters. Your engagement honors sacrifice. Your comments ensure fallen are remembered. Next attack already planned, next crisis already approaching, next base already targeted, but America ready, America vigilant, America capable, defenders train. Reinforcements deploy. Bases hold, enemies attack. America survives, pattern repeats. Survival continues because American resolve unbreakable, American commitment unshakable. American warriors, unstoppable. They tried to take Guantanamo, failed. They'll try again somewhere else, fail again, because we're ready, because we remember, because we honor those who held the line when line could have broken. That's Navy force mission. That's our commitment. No, that's why we tell these stories. So sacrifice isn't forgotten. So lessons are learned. So warriors are honored. Stay informed, stay engaged, stay with us.